Maybe edit it.
Time. I feel like if we make changes, we're not going to see it again before February. I certainly don't think it's a bad letter. This is just a personal opinion. I always err on the side of brevity when writing to elected officials because they just view a lot of documents. And then I'll send them like another letter, like on the side, or hand it to someone that they know and give them like all the details and the gist of it. But like in their packet, in their agenda packet, because they're reviewing so many things. And I wouldn't put it past them to review these things maybe 1 or 2 days in advance. So just like be, more concise. But I think it's great. But, these are just semantics and preference. But, why not? Let's try it.
I'm wondering, just based on that coaching, if, kind of get to the point faster. Maybe.
It's difficult because they need to have the background. There's a lot of information that's absolutely pertinent. But at the same time, I do understand they must see a ton of documents, PDF or actual paper form, right? So we want to stand out, right? So,
well, I'm wondering if somebody came and spoke at the meeting and gave up just a punchy presentation of this is a way to extend hours by making the library accessible when we don't have staff. And so, it's a money saver and, they're doing it in torrents and the details are included in the letter, if that would be a way to approach it.
I hate to do this on the fly and I've looked at this thing, I don't know, at least 30 times. So, but I'm wondering if maybe we just take that second paragraph, bring it up to the top, put a dollar figure commitment that we want, and then all they have to read is that first paragraph, and the rest of it is just supporting for it.
That's a good idea. Yeah. And
do you mean by second paragraph the one that states as
part of the strategic plan?
It's a great idea. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that would be great.
That's your punch, right? You have your punch, you have a dollar sign in there. And like Director Anderson said, you have the money saver, right? So
saves. Yeah, invest costs this, saves this.
Yes.
And then the rest of it is going to be supporting of that. And if they just read the first paragraph, they'll get the gist of what we're doing. And then when the meeting comes up, that would be the paragraph. That would be the punchy paragraph, Director Anderson. I'm thinking that we could give. Does that make sense? Okay, I see head nods.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do we need to take a formal vote, Director Anderson, or can we just make
Commissioner Hall has her hand up.
Oh, sorry, Commissioner Hall.
I just was going to say, I definitely don't think you should take anything else out because I know we all had a lot of questions when we were considering this, and so I know they will too. So I like the idea of just having someone there to represent at the meeting and give a kind of brief synopsis, but I think they're going to want the info in the letter.
Thank you, Commissioner Hall. So I guess at this point, is there any more discussion about the letter itself? That was really good input. Like I said, you read it so many times, it all starts, you can't see it anymore.
It's a great letter. I'm just, like I said, I just want to make sure we get to the point and make sure the council members see it. It's,
Thank you guys for working on it.
yes, thank you. It was great.
So if there's consensus, maybe if we could get a motion and a second to make that minor modification and sign the letter and send it to the city council.
Sure, I can do that. I make the motion that we move the paragraph as part of the strategic plan to the beginning of the letter and move forward to presenting this letter to council.
Is there a second?
I think, and also adding the dollar figure to that paragraph that's moved to the front, right? Okay.
So would you like to amend the motion? You've amended the motion to include the dollar figure and the cost, in dollars invested and the cost savings. Did I capture your thought?
Yeah. Do you want me to rephrase then?
No, I think it's okay. She can amend your motion.
Okay.
So we have a motion, an amendment. Do we have a second to the amended motion?
A second.
I don't think you can second your amendment.
Oh, I was the amendment.
I'll second.
You're the amendment. You can second it. Okay, now let's take a vote. All right, Commissioner Koopman,
Yes.
Commissioner Nafisi,
Aye.
Commissioner Walls,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
and Commissioner Orsing.
Aye.
All right, thank you guys. I think this will be good to go. The next item on the agenda is discussion of the mid-year budget.
Okay, so this was a referral from Commissioner Koopman. By the way, that's supposed to say October 4th, not October 24th. I just caught that typo when I was looking over this. So she asked to bring back a discussion item on the mid-year budget. And to give a little bit of background, in November 2018, the Library Commission, which I believe Chairperson Beauchamp, Commissioner Nafisi, and Commissioner Koopman were on the commission then and worked on the letter, wrote a letter to members of City Council regarding the year-end closeout, asking for $100,000 for the library collection budget, and they voted to allocate $50,000 to the collection budget. Now we've already passed the mid-year closeout. They had that discussion on November 16th, City Council did. And the mid-year budget, they don't have a date for that discussion yet, but it should be in February or March. However, they didn't really make any decisions during the year-end closeout discussion. I can sort of give you a summary that they ended up with the general fund balance at fiscal year end June 30th, 2021 was $14 million, which was up from $10,750,000 in 2020, June 30th, 2020. However, a lot of that money is already committed to other costs. So basically, after those other encumbrances are made, they have a remaining fund balance of $2,865,449. And that includes a recommended $1 million transfer to the Capital Projects Fund, but does not include a proposed transfer to the CalPERS Reserve Fund or other specific project accounts. So staff was recommending that the remaining fund balance be left for consideration at mid-year for an updated review of structural revenues and expenses and a more comprehensive list of competing demands. So that is when council will discuss how they want to allocate those funds. I will also say that last fiscal year, we did go $90,000 over in part-time funding. However, that was because at mid-year, they asked everyone to let administration know what they think they were going to have left over in their part-time funding line. And at that time, we didn't know if we were going to open. So I think we said we thought we were going to have like $300,000 left, and they took that money. And then we did open. And so that's the reason why we went over. But nonetheless, we did end up over. So that is where we are. that's sort of some background for you. I'm assuming this is why Commissioner Koopman wanted this on the agenda to discuss.
So realistically, there doesn't seem to be much money to ask for. Could we still ask?
Well, I mean, you can. I'll leave that up to you all to decide if you.
I don't want it to be completely futile. So if the commission doesn't agree, I don't have a problem with not drafting a letter. But I always say it doesn't hurt to ask. That's just how I feel. I mean, we need the money. I mean, our expenses have increased, right? Just in terms of all the electronic and digital devices or access, right? And we all know that the books, the licensing fees, I know people get confused by that, but library licensing fees on a book is much more extravagant than a consumer purchasing a digital book. So I'm open to have a discussion. If people don't think it's necessary, then we don't have to move forward.
Commissioner Nafisi?
I share the same motto: if you don't ask, you don't get. But I think there's a lot of value in just generally asking, because you kind of mark, for lack of a better word, that you have been asking. So we might not get it this year, but next year we go to them and say, hey, look, we didn't have, there wasn't enough budget money for you to grant us money. We'd like you to consider us this year. And, it would be on record that we have asked for it. So I think there's a lot of value in that in general, just to continuously ask. They may not find that we are, that increase is of value to them this year, but it's on record that it's of value to us. And I think that goes a long way. They might give us a portion of it. Who knows? I don't know.
Thank you, Commissioner Nafisi. Commissioner Wells?
Do we have an idea? Are these funds that we may or may not be requesting, do we have them earmarked for something, or do we have a list of services that may not be able to be provided if we don't, if the funds aren't allocated to us? Anything concrete in that way?
When we did the letter, when we composed the letter the last time, we did have a list of things that we would put it towards. So what I would have to do is talk to my collection team and ask what, maybe some more specifics on where they would see that it could be used. So potentially what we could do is if, a couple people volunteered to write a request, I could find out from the collection team where they would want to spend those funds. And then we could bring a letter back on February 7th, which even if they're planning to discuss mid-year budget in February, I think that's still enough time.
Commissioner Koopman?
Just for historical reference, would it be possible if Director Anderson forwarded a copy of the last letter we submitted, just so we have a lot of new commissioners on our commission, so it may be just so they know what we asked for and how we asked for it. I'm
not sure if that is. I could definitely give it to the people who would be working on this next letter, but I'm not sure I can forward it to all of you all if that's a Brown Act violation.
We already voted on it. So
if we don't comment on it, I think if you disseminate it and do the BCC thing so that nobody replies to it, I think we're okay.
You're talking about the old letter?
The past one, the past letter.
No, the past letter, we already voted on it. That's public record. It's an agenda. So
okay,
with everyone, yeah.
Okay.
The Brown Act only adheres to things that we're going to vote on in the future.
Okay.
So yeah,
we don't want to reply all to that email, but to receive that email that was the past letter is not a violation of Brown Act.
Okay.
I agree with Commissioner Nafisi.
I just think it'd be nice for everyone to see what was in that letter to get an idea. We did receive money from that letter.
Yeah, sorry, Commissioner Worsing, you wanted to add something?
Well, there was a letter that was modified just a few months ago. This will be the third modification of the same letter?
Yes.
No. Actually, okay. Andrew, this letter So the letter you're talking about, Commissioner Worsing, is the one that the commission writes for the budget process.
Yeah.
And they're usually asking for like an additional staff member,
Yeah.
money for the collection. Usually every year they ask for $50,000 and we get $40,000 to $50,000 and some technology money. But in addition to that, in 2018, when they did the year-end closeout, the commission asked if they could have extra money for the collection, and it was extra money on top of that for the collection, and it was granted.
Okay.
They're similar, but it's the timing that was different, right, Director Anderson?
Yes, I have a hard time keeping up with all of it too. There's the year-end closeout, there's mid-year budget, and then there's the new budget.
Yeah, but yeah, I would say that they're similar. One was the bigger plan, and the other one was a smaller ask because we thought we could capture some of those extra funds.
Yes, and Commissioner Koopman, it was a good catch by her to remember mid-year. We kind of missed year-end closeout
One last time, yeah.
every other month now, and it's hard to think ahead sometimes.
Commissioner Nafisi, did you want to add something?
So I just didn't have my hand down, sorry.
Oh, okay. So it's good discussion. Is there someone want to make a motion, perhaps?
I'll make a motion to move forward with the letter proposed.
You were a little faint, Commissioner Nafisi. I think you said you'd make a motion to have a couple members of the commission draft a letter.
No, I'll make the motion to move forward with the letter as proposed.
Okay.
We said move forward with the letter, but we would need some people to volunteer to draft it.
Wait, what's the letter that's in the packet? I don't understand.
Commissioner Nafisi, maybe repeat your motion because maybe we're all misunderstanding.
No, I think I'm confused. The letter that's in the packet is not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about a
No,
different.
New letter. New letter.
So Director Anderson, do we need a motion to ask you to send out the old letter? Or do we need to vote?
No, I can just do that.
So I think that one's passed, Commissioner Nafisi. I think we're on to the next motion if there is one, or the motion. I don't know. Does somebody want to make a motion? Let me ask again. Maybe a motion to have a couple people draft a letter. Commissioner Koopman.
I would like to make a motion to draft a letter to request monies from any leftover monies from the city. Does that
in the prior fiscal year?
The prior fiscal year, yes, the leftover, so the remaining money, yes. Yes.
Okay, so that's a great motion. The only amendment that I'd like to request is if we could name who will do it. Maybe we could ask someone to volunteer, or
I would be happy to do it with Candace.
Okay, so you're volunteering and voluntelling.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so your motion then includes the Commissioner Koopman and Commissioner Nafisi will draft the letter.
I got smart in my old age. Yes.
Okay, do we have a second or discussion on the about the motion on the table?
I'll second that.
Seconded, Commissioner Walls. Thank you. So let's vote. Commissioner Koopman.
Yes. Aye.
Commissioner Nafisi.
Aye.
Commissioner Walls.
Aye.
Commissioner Hall.
Aye.
And Commissioner Worsing.
Aye.
Okay, the motion passes. So we'll have a mid-year budget request letter for the next meeting.
I think I need to buy Candace some wine.
Like, between you and me, I'm recovering over a sandpiper's weekend. I want no more volunteer activities.
You know, I figured just because we've had the experience, I think we drafted the first one, so it shouldn't be. Once we get the data from Susan, we can just plug and play.
Yeah, I think once you guys have the former letter, it should be pretty easy. I'll just let you know where we would need it this time.
Great, thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the discussion of communication between the Library Commission and council members.
Okay, so unfortunately, Commissioner Willers is not here with us this evening because this was her referral. But at the October 4th, 2021 meeting, she gave a referral to staff to place this discussion item on the agenda. And she has attached a couple of examples of the kinds of things that she was thinking about could go into communication to council members. And I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of what kind of communications they are potentially already receiving, potentially. And so the library has a monthly email newsletter that goes out, and then we have our webpage with news on it, and we have a Facebook page, and then the city has its digital recreation brochure, I guess you would call it, that comes out on a quarterly basis. So our regular programs, our special programs, our new products and services, like if we get a new app or we get a new database or we institute something like automatic card renewal, those are the kind of items that would go out in those outlets. And then additionally, we have library commission packet, which will include things like usage statistics, any staff trainings or workshops staff is going to, if we get new staff, like we just got a new children's librarian and a new tech services librarian, any grants we might get, and then any improvements to the facilities, which several years ago, we kind of had some major improvements to the facilities with the update to the children's areas and the teen area and the digital lounge. But even things like they're not in operation yet, but like the EVC stations in the parking lots that we have now, that kind of thing. So there's a bunch of information, but it's in different places. And the other thing is, there was a time when I first started here where the city council members got this entire library commission packet in their mailbox. And then it went down to, they just got the agenda. And now it's just, they can look at it online if they're interested. So it's less direct to them. So, it could be useful for somebody to look at all these different sources of information and pull some highlights that city council members could be interested in and send them a little brief monthly memo. So that is what is on the agenda to discuss. And, I believe Commissioner Willers was willing to do this. So if you all had any input or, part of this would be voting on whether or not to do it as well, we could discuss that.
Well, I will just add a couple of things from my perspective. As a new commissioner, I think she had some great ideas about, council members have meetings with the public on a regular basis. And if we keep interesting and current information about the library in front of the council members, then they can have those discussions with their constituents. It sounds like they already get that information in various ways, but I think her point was, and I don't want to put words in her mouth, but I think her point was just pick out a few nuggets that are really pertinent and really of interest, and get that in front of the council members so that they can share it with their constituents. Maybe we should wait until she can speak for herself, but I liked the idea of getting current and pertinent information out there. But if it's already out there in the news, and we're just repeating it, then maybe it's not worth it. I don't know. I got the impression she was willing to kind of call the information and put these together herself. So if we're going to vote on having it done, she should probably be part of that vote.
Thank you, Commissioner Worsing. Commissioner Koopman?
Do other departments do this?
No,
Okay.
not that I know of.
Okay. So I think I would probably echo Commissioner Worsing and just maybe I would like to suggest to table this to the next meeting.
I see a lot of head nods. Director Anderson, do we need to take a vote or can we just roll?
I think we could make it. I think we could make take a vote to table it to the next meeting. And
okay, can we get a motion in a second, please, to table this until February?
I will move to table it until February.
Thank you, Commissioner Worsing.
I'll make the second.
Thanks, Commissioner Koopman. Quick roll call vote. Commissioner Koopman.
Aye.
Commissioner Nafisi.
Aye.
Commissioner Walls.
Aye.
Commissioner Hall.
Aye.
And Commissioner Worsing.
Aye.
Okay, so we'll pick that subject up in a couple months. The next item on the agenda is the director's report, I think. Yeah, is it a separate? It's the director's report. It should have a J3. Oh, there it is, J3. Sorry, Director Anderson. It's director's report.
okay, so just a few things to point out here. One of the top things there is that we do have another intern from Redondo Union High School. So we always enjoy having one of the interns here so they can get some work experience with us. We do have our new youth services librarian on board. She started October 25th, so that has been great. And our tech services librarian started in November. So we've got both of them on board, which is really great. The Friends of the Library, they did have their holiday book sale already on December 4th. We have that under the December calendar, and it was great. They made $1,500, which is almost twice as much as what they've made on their prior book sales. Partially because the store isn't open as much. I think Palos Verdes isn't doing their book sales right now. And they put out their nicest books that people could buy to give as gifts. And it was really successful. So I think they're going to do another book sale in the spring. I mean, they're having their weekly book sales, but they had a really good turnout for this. And people were asking for when is the next one is going to be. So it was exciting. For Commissioner Koopman, we did put together the library versus Amazon services chart again that Commissioner Koopman asked for, and we blew it up and put it into the display case at both locations. We had a lot more stuff on there this time. It was more detailed than the last one. And also, at the end of your packet, you do have a flyer about I don't know how many of you all use the Cloud Library app, but the idea behind Cloud Library is that you can check out books. I mean, you can check out ebooks or e-audio from other library systems that also are part of Cloud Library if their items are available. And we just started that reciprocal lending with Libby as well. And there's a list on the back of the libraries that are participating in it. It's not as you have to set it up in the app for yourself. It's not as sort of seamless as Cloud Library. So we're looking into how to get those materials out to the public so they understand how to use it. But that should increase the collection. So we're happy about that.
Commissioner Koopman?
So it's interesting because I use Libby for LAPL, for Los Angeles Public Library. I don't see it listed on as one of the reciprocal libraries. Is that just because there's a contract with these libraries? Is that how it works?
Correct. They don't participate.
Okay, they don't participate. Okay.
Probably because they have a huge collection.
I don't know if you can see that, Commissioner Koopman, but this is the Libby app. I have my LA County and I have my Redondo on here, so I'm not sure why it works for me.
Oh no, I'm saying on the list, there isn't LA City on this list. City of
So you've got cards at both places, Andrew. That's why it's showing up.
Okay, that makes sense. Got
You
it.
can't check out their materials with your Redondo card.
And no offense, Director Anderson, but I use the county one way more because it feels like it's like, holy moly, it's like an ocean versus a pond.
Yeah.
Is my feeling correct?
Yes, that's why we're doing this reciprocal lending so that we will have more, offerings. That's why we liked Cloud Library so much, is because you could, by pairing up with other library systems, you got more bang for your buck, basically. But hopefully this will increase our titles.
Do you have a sense for how it would compare to LA County, for example? I'm just curious.
You mean by joining up with all these other libraries?
Yeah, is the catalog?
I'd have to know how many titles LA County had or what their budget is, and then how many.
They have a lot. I mean, it feels, just as a consumer, it feels, like I said, it feels much richer. But
let me ask you this: do you have a long waiting list, though? Even though
yes, there is. Yeah. But as long as you're willing to wait, that's a great point. I do have to wait often, like 4 weeks, and sometimes it comes when I'm in the middle of another book, and I'm like, yes, but yeah, that's a good point, actually. But it does feel like I guess what I'm saying is, if there's a book I'm interested in and I'm not just browsing, it certainly feels like, I feel like going in Libby with LA is the LA County card is it feels like it's more likely to hit.
Mm-hmm. Do you use Cloud Library?
I do, and I don't find that it often has much. That I'm, if I'm browsing, it's a different thing, because then there's so many titles, the chances I'm going to find something is pretty good. But if more often than not, I'm going off of a friend's recommendation, or I'm trying to finish the next in the series or something like that. And so my sequence of events is check Libby, check Hoopla, check Cloud Library, then buy it on Amazon. That's
Hoopla has a lot. Hoopla, I find, has a lot too. Just not the newest stuff, but it's a lot.
Yeah, it does have long tail stuff, but not super popular. It's just Sorry, I monopolized this. Commissioner Hall.
Yeah, I'm just curious, is there any cost to us for doing the sharing on Libby? Because I do similar kind of step down for looking at Libby and the next one and the next one. So
no, there is not.
Okay. Great.
And my video just crashed. Are you guys still there?
Yeah. I think Grace.
You.
Thank you.
My comment was about Libby, and this is more of a comment. I've used Libby for a while, but they changed their app a few months ago, and it's not as intuitive as it used to be. Maybe again, I'm showing my age, but but I do like Libby, so I'm happy with the move.
Well, pretty soon he is going to be in Libby as well. So
what is going to be in Libby?
Our Canopy collection of films are going to be in Libby.
I
think that's coming in about a week. Also, I forgot one thing on my director's report under the December calendar. On the December 10th family holiday event at the main library, where actually one of our staff people is going to be dressing up as Santa Claus and is going to read a story, and kids can have their picture taken with Santa Claus. So that should be fun. That's a new one for us.
Yeah, Director Anderson, I'll just share. I think I told everybody that I was at a birthday, my neighbor's birthday party, and there was a guy there with 2 young kids. And I said, I have to go. I'm going to a library commission meeting. And he said to me, he said, I forgot the library existed until I had kids. And he goes, now I'm at the library all the time. So
that's funny.
Having someone dress up as Santa Claus feels like it's serving our constituents well.
What is the date for the Santa?
10th?
It's December 10th.
Okay.
Any more discussion on the director's report? Okay, we're on to next item on the agenda is member items and referrals to staff. guess we have our assignments. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, and a second?
I can second.
All right, thank you. I'll take a quick roll call vote. Commissioner Koopman,
Aye.
Commissioner Nafisi,
Hi.
Commissioner Wells,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall.
Aye.
And Commissioner Worsing.
Aye.
That was an aye. All right, thank you. And with that, we're adjourned until February. Thank you for everybody for volunteering to do extra hours work, and we'll see you in a couple months.
Thank you.
Wonderful holiday.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, have
Happy
a
New
good
Year.
holiday, guys. Bye-bye.
Susan?
Oh, yes,